This is Greed. Caves 1. Burning enemies have a chance to take extra damage every time. Okay. Champion monsters are tougher but have higher stats than... Okay. Use forges to create new rings and enhance the ones you have. Hey, I read one. Hooray. You cannot attack or use potions while you are stunned. Bombs will blast through anything, even solid rock. Wow, loading time takes a little while, doesn't it? Right now it's going through the generation, I assume. I would think at this point the generation algorithm might need taking a look at, because I can't imagine why it would take so long to generate a single floor of a level. Okay, here we go. Making tunnels, making monsters. Yeah, that needs work, but this is alpha, so we're going to be relatively patient with it. Alright, so this is my character right here. Now, I've been advised that much like Minecraft or the like, I don't need to press anything to start mining. I just need to kind of move up against stuff and it'll automatically start mining. I gained a ring of fireball. Cool. How do I use it? Iron brew. Is it made of iron? If not, it's false advertising. So look at that. I'm finding gold. I'm finding solid rock. Ooh, wow. Look at that. I like how that all kind of just generated itself right in front of me. It didn't really generate it, it's just more of the fog of war kind of unveiled itself over time. Ring of attack. So I got 2 rings now. Okay, so by using twin stick shooter style, by using up, down, left, and right, I'm able to just use my ring and attack in that direction. Can I do diagonal? I can do diagonal, but it's not easy. Looks like there's a charge on this ring, but it does actually restore itself over time. I'm guessing that's, yep, those blue little things also restore it over time. Quicker. Can't mind that. Just a light source, I guess. Ooh, meats. I guess I can only use that if I'm hurt. Makes sense. So you can't pick up any kind of food or anything, it looks like. You gotta be injured at the time. Oh, but it disappears. That's just mean. In a roguelike, I'm gonna depend on that food sometimes, I'm sure. I guess we'll play it out and see how that goes. Well, this place must be gigantic. And considering how long it took to generate, I'm assuming it's really big. Especially since I can kind of cut a swath however way I want. The music and theme are overall pretty chill right now. I like the graphical style. Well, let's see if that gets more intense the further we go. I doubt we're going to be seeing just caves because this place was specifically marked as a cave in the loading screen. Which tells me there's got to be more unique areas than just the cave area. As far as I can tell, there's no downside to just pickaxing all the things. If I really wanted to, I could probably flatten out or open up the entire map. But odds are, given the size, I probably don't want to. Oh, hello. Can't break this rock for some reason. That seems weird. I can't shoot at it either. I don't know. A little strange. I would have thought I'd be able to destroy a rock like that. Oh, with the pickaxe and everything. A miner's elixir. So I got all these potions, Iron Brew, Miner's Elixir, I don't even know what the other one is. They're very indistinguishable from one another aside from color. And in roguelikes, that's actually pretty common. You'll get potions and they'll all just be a different color, and you won't know what any of them do until you drink them. But that doesn't seem to be the case in this particular instance. I know what they are. They're not just red potion, purple potion, yellow potion. They're actually Miner's Elixir and other Iron Brews. I'll try drinking one when I'm hurt or something. I figure I'll explore around a bit. I mean, I gotta find the exit anyway, right? Now, what's the map button? M? Oh, that's cool. I like that effect. Very cool. Kind of reminds me of Zelda for some reason, the old Link to the Past style map. There we go. Ooh, that looks promising. Can I break it? Oh, I can break that. This trap door is locked. The key must be somewhere around here. So this might be the entrance to the next level, but I need to find the key first, it looks like. So there's 2 components to moving on, it seems. Interesting. I wonder if there are also multiple exits. That would kind of remind me of Barony in a way. The way that there were multiple exits actually did lead you to different spots. And you could sometimes predict what those spots were by listening towards the exit and kind of getting an idea of, like, there are bustling streets you can hear. So, there's some kind of town up ahead. So, as far as the music goes, I don't know, it's definitely good, but I worry that it'll overstay its welcome because it's not particularly long, and it also is noticeable when it repeats. That's always been kind of a pet peeve of mine, is whenever I can notice that a game's music is repeating. It's also one of the reasons I hate it when, like, in an RPG, you'll be battling something, and then when you get out of the battle, the music doesn't pick up where it left off when the battle started, but rather it will actually start over. So you can end up doing a bunch of battles one after the other, and then just keep hearing the same 5 notes over and over again, until it drives you to the brink of insanity. Now, let's see, I picked up some kind of different ring earlier, didn't I? A ring of attack or something? I thought it said Q or E to change it, but no, that doesn't seem to work. Maybe that just ups my attack strength? Hitting a lot of these rocks. It'd kind of be nice if you could see one block ahead, I guess you could say, of the soot. That might defeat some of the aspects of exploration, I suppose, but at the same time, it'd cut down on a lot of hassle, I guess is the best word for it. Because right now I don't really know where to go. It's not all laid out before me, which isn't inherently bad, but at the same time, I have no idea where I should go from here. I have a bomb. It said it can go through solid rock. Yeah, but then there's just more solid rocks, so, you know. But it'd be nice if I could actually see one block further. It'd give me somewhat of a better idea of when there's something nearby that I can mine through. One way that Terraria does it, and I love Terraria, one of my favorite games actually, for multiplayer especially. Terraria does it where you can actually see anything that's lit up. You just can't necessarily reach it unless you can get to it. And that's actually pretty good, because it means as long as you're close to something that's a lit up area, you can mine to it. But like this, in this style, you really have no idea what's ahead of you. You kind of got to figure it on your own. Found a sapphire. Cool. So it adds to a nice exploration aspect of it, but at the same time, you're not really going to know what you're going to find until you get there. I guess you could say that's where the Minecraft style kind of kicks in, but at the same time with Minecraft, we're not talking about short-form dungeons. We're talking about you're going to build an entire world around what you find in there. It's not really a one-shot. It's kind of it's an investment. You're exploring for the sake of you're going to be here a while. In fact, you're going to expand upon whatever the world has to offer. But we're not really getting that here. We're just getting a standard find the exit. And we found the exit, now we just need to find the key for it, I guess. And I would absolutely agree, a mini-map would be very nice. That'd be something that would definitely help with backtracking. Granted, I have the full map here, but it'd be nice to have a frame of reference of some sort while you're just in the game in general. Ugh, come on. Oh, pardon me a moment. I nearly forgot. I use this program called Flux, and that'll make everything all orange, and that'll make the video look weird. So, let's continue on. Oh, what the hell? There's no continuing on. I guess you press escape and it's all over. Why would you do that to me, Lolpaca? Where's the pause button? Where's the confirmation that you want to quit? Lolpaca! Lolpaca, why? Why, Lolpaca? Oh, Lolpaca. No. No, Lolpaca. I know it's alpha, but no. At least a warning, you know? Lolpaca, come on, bro. Okay, well, that didn't happen. Apparently, pressing escape actually completely escapes out of it. Whoops. Alright, round 2. What ring do I get this time? The Ring of Snowflake. Ooh, that's a lot quicker. Wow, I like this one. I don't know if it just seems quicker because of the sound effect, but it feels quicker. So I might as well just break all these boxes with a ring. I mean, it's going to recharge anyway, right? Seems like it's quicker than using the attack animation, if you want to call it that. It's not really an attack animation, though, because I don't think you can hit enemies with this. Ooh, bombs. I promise to exploit the hell out of these. Just not here. Maybe here. Yeah, but I think the biggest aspect of this game that might end up hindering it a lot is just the fact that you have no real direction at all. And I mean that in the most broad sense of the term. You really have to just kind of make your own path. Inherently, that's not bad in video games, but it is bad when it's not something that's going to be like, you know, a long, oh crap, a long process. You're not expected to be in here long. You're expected to be in here for a short period of time, and that bat is a dick. There we go. That is weird. They kind of all go, they go rainbowy when you hit them. That's neat. So what are these rocks all about? Can I bomb them? I can bomb them. Doesn't do much, but I can do it. Now, I could exploit my bombs and just try to open up more passageways, but I really do think that one of the biggest selling points of this game is also one of the biggest hindrances. But I do think it could easily be solved by implementing a lot of what Terraria did with the whole finding anywhere that's lit up through walls aspect of it. That worked out really nicely. Now, as for the twin stick shooter aspect of the game, I can't really speak much to it because I only have a few rings. I have a ring of health, but again, I can't seem to switch to it. So I haven't really tried out much yet. But so far, it looks like they all kind of do the same. Because this is basically the fireball, but maybe a little bit quicker and different sound effect and different, you know, status effect maybe. I'm not setting things on fire anymore, but I'm probably slowing them now if I were guessing. I mean, that's all well and good, but you should really think about diversifying what each ring really does at its core. You really want to try to make finding a ring a big deal. And right now, it's not really a big deal. All it is it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, this one shoots ice. Hooray. No, you can do way more than that. Like, for example, let's say the fireball one. What if instead of shooting a fireball, what if that one actually had like a flamethrower effect in front of you while you had it activated? You know, like you could hold it down and spray it in whatever direction, I guess you could say. That'd be way cooler. And I'd say ice ball kind of works for the snow one. I'm guessing I'm going to find a lightning one soon. A lightning one, that'd be cool if it dealt damage and arced, but it dealt less damage than, say, the fireball. But it arcs, so it kind of makes up for it, I guess you could say. Of course, I don't know if it doesn't already do that. I'm just guessing. Yeah, you really want to make these rings really unique. Now, I know that they're upgradable, so they can do different things in the future. But why do you want to hold back your audience from seeing and doing really cool things until later in the game? Wouldn't you want to introduce that kind of stuff really early on? Get them hooked from the start? Now, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole trapdoor key system. Usually when you find the exit, that's when you want to weigh your options, whether or not you want to move on right then and there or stick around and try to find more. But we're not really getting the option here. Instead, we're just kind of being forced to find the key as well. Oop, back away from him. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But I did find the key. And for the sake of further exploration, let's go ahead and just take it and move on. That'll work. That worked too well. Alright, let's see what the next level has to offer. Press C to descend. Boom! Now, it looks like the rooms are kind of going a lot quicker now. So maybe I just got stuck with a bad generation algorithm on that one particular instance. Let's find out. I don't know how I would feel about a hint arrow, honestly, because I feel like then you're just objectifying, I guess, the game. And roguelikes, you really don't want your hand held all that much. So I could see how that would be not the best way to go, personally. But it's not like I have any one definitive answer. It's certainly worth a try to see if a object marker of some sort might kind of give you a hint. Oh. So that's another reason why it'd be nice to have a little heads up, because sometimes I'm just mining and then suddenly rat. I don't want to have to slow down my mining just to be careful, you know? Because this right here, this is going to get mundane very quickly, just the idea of trying to find the next area to go to. But you did kind of break it up by putting little things in the way, like little freebies, such as all that silver I found. But I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I don't know. I don't really know anything. I'm just kind of going with it. But fortunately, I'm finding stuff along the way. Not quite sure what gold does at the minute. It doesn't contribute to experience, and I know experience is what you need in order to start crafting your rings and making them better. Oh, see, almost hit a rat again. Come on. Yeah, I would definitely love it if there was some kind of a Terraria-style discovery system, I suppose you could say. This game definitely lends itself to it. Oh, one more experience. Why you do this? I want to level up. But so far, it seems like a very... Usually with roguelikes and roguelites the same, you expect a lot of, like, a high difficulty curve. Right now, I'm not really finding that difficulty curve in the beginning. Now, you don't always want it to be super difficult in the beginning, but you do want it to be engaging. Now, let's see. If we go down this way... Now, that's a good question. What if there were NPCs that actually told you that the exit to the cave was, say, southwest, northeast, northwest, something like that? Maybe if it was a really vague, like a really general direction to go. Like right now I know it looks like I hit the bottom. That looks like bedrock, yeah. If it was some kind of a really vague general idea of where to look, that might work out. And then you could still have the key as a secondary thing because then you're searching for it, but I don't know. Hey, level up, and look, everything got all shiny for a second. Tier 1 crafting unlocked, so now I need to find a workbench and I can upgrade this ring. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about needing someone to kind of lead you there. I feel like it should still be an exploration, and fortunately with a vague kind of concept of where to go, it is still about exploration. But yeah, maybe that is the way to go. I don't know. Maybe if there was some sort of a trail. Maybe a trail left behind by somebody who came in before you, you know? I know some roguelikes who have done things along those lines where they'll leave, like, little notes or something of journal entries left behind by other adventurers that talked about what they were planning on doing and where they were planning on going. Maybe if they could lead to some kind of a hint of, like, today I'm going to try going south. Hopefully I will not die. Blah-de-blah-blah, sincerely, Hinty McHinterson. And then one day you can find McHinterson's corpse and, you know, maybe a heartfelt last journal entry or something. Kind of a meta thing, you know? Like a little meta game in the game to try to find Hinty McHinterson. It's always nice when roguelikes add in a little bit of meta. I think Rogue Legacy did something very similar, and that was pretty cool, actually, if I recall. They had the journal entries of the main bad guy that you're going to end up fighting at the end. And you can kind of see, as he attempts to do the same thing you did, how it goes. Like a dungeon riddle. Yeah, something like a dungeon riddle would be a good way to go. But of course, that would get a little tricky, because eventually you're going to start rehashing the same riddles in different playthroughs. So you're going to start to know pretty immediately what each riddle means, you know? So I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to go. I think it's just that, as strange as it sounds, this is too open. I feel like there's got to be some kind of method of enclosure that's not really... that doesn't seem restrictive, but is actually restrictive. Ooh, hey, Forger. Press C to craft, alright. So what do we have here? Craft a new ring, enhance an existing ring, or salvage and recover old materials. So, can I enhance my ring? Let's see. We have a ring of health, which I guess is passive. See, is there an inventory screen maybe I've been neglecting? But whatever. So there's the ring of health, and then there's the ring of snowflake. You must reach a higher level before you can add any more spells to this ring. Curses. So I guess that's a tier 2 thing. And what about this one? Well, it's not complaining about this one. Press C to exit crafting. Well, I can't select it or exit, so I'm guessing that's a no-go. Well, I can exit, but... How about crafting a new ring? Fireball, snowflake, viper. 50 copper and 1 emerald. Thunder! 50 iron and 1 topaz. Crap, I don't have 50 iron. I don't think, at least. Ring of health, ring of magic. So I can basically make anything if I have the means. Ring of attack. Now, what exactly do you think constitutes attack rate? Is that just the I guess it's the rate at which the ring fires off, but I was wondering if it would help me mine faster, too. So, yeah, not enough materials. Okay, I need more iron, then I can come back to this thing and make myself a lightning ring. Maybe I have a pickup that reveals a part of the map. That's kind of a good idea. Maybe you could find a map pickup of some sort that kind of reveals a section of the map, or rather, not even reveals a section of the map. Say we're up here. Imagine, I guess a section of the map is the right way to say it, but imagine if just one of the rooms, you pick up a map, and one of the rooms is actually fully revealed. And then you just have to mine your way there. However you find your way, that's fine. But you'll know how to get there. No! I pressed escape to get out of the map! No! Why would you do this to me, Lolpaka? Oh, the pain. Oh, dang it. That's so instinctual of me. Here we go again. Caves 1. Or not. I think the game might have froze. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, that's a whoopsie. Well, there's the inventory. Curses. Yeah, never... Okay, just a tip to all game developers in general. If the escape button instantly quits you out of your game and you don't get any kind of warning dialogue or anything like that, you're doing it wrong. I don't care what state the game is in, unless it's like pre-alpha. No, that's a no-no. Never, ever, ever put anyone in a situation where they might lose all progress by hitting one key. That is... Oh, that's a baddie. That's no good. That's a bad one. It's like the instant troll button. It's the button that everyone uses to get out of everything, but it's like the instant troll button. And I think I glitched something out because it looks like all the lighting is messed up now. It looks like all the lighting is always in effect forever now. So it is interesting that there's 4 different currencies, and I guess those are going to be required for the ring crafting. But I wonder if that's almost too complex. I wonder if it's almost like... So to make that lightning ring, I needed specifically to have the iron and the topaz. Well, what if I don't find enough of one of them? I mean, then both of them are effectively useless. Because it seems like they're only really used in one thing. Of course, I didn't look that hard. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. But it looked like, for the most part, they were specifically used for one purpose. Whereas if you had a unified currency system and and the gems, then you just have to worry about finding the right gems, you know? Though I guess I can see it from both sides, because the rings are actually made of a certain material. They are either made of copper or iron or gold or whatever. There we go. I want to try to craft a ring. That's my goal for this stream. But yeah, you always want to be careful with your crafting systems that you don't make them too complex, because if you introduce too many materials, then there's a good chance you might not find the ones you need to actually make anything. And that can be a real issue. Now, if there's some kind of... Maybe there's an exchange event. Maybe there's an event where you can exchange certain currencies for other currencies. And that would be just fine if that's the case. If that's something I stumbled upon all of a sudden, that'd be really cool, because then I don't have to worry about only having gold, because, hey, gold transfers into iron really well. Alright. Not pressing escape this time. Oh, there we go. Fix the lighting. Oh, here we go. Found the key. Yeah, I gotta say, so far the combat is relatively unengaging, and I don't know, I don't think it's really the movement so much, I think it's just the attacks. They aren't really, what's the word? They don't have that wow factor. They don't really, they're not juicy. They don't feel awesome every time you use them. You gotta have some level of juice in your game at all times, you know? You gotta make sure that everything pops, everything feels really aesthetically pleasing. What's the old, what do they say about it? The minimal amount of effort to get the maximum amount of awesomeness. That's what juice is. So I want to feel like every time I'm knocking down one of these blocks, I want it to feel like I just knocked out a block. Right now it's a really soft sooty sound. Listen. It's boring. It's flat. There's nothing too cool about it. The nice thing is that the particle effects are there, so you get that. The particle effects make you feel like you broke something. But the sound, it doesn't feel crunchy. It doesn't feel... I would say Minecraft, when you're destroying sand or grit or whatever they call it, soot, whatever, whenever you're destroying that, it's got a really crunchy sound to it, and it feels like you broke something, and it feels satisfying, the dirt destroying sound. This is just so flat, and it's nothing. There could be there could be so much more. Sound design alone can add a lot of juice to your game. Never ignore your sound design. Even these breaking sounds are pretty generic when you hear them. They're not really... I don't feel like I broke a wooden crate. That doesn't sound like wood. It's just a poof, 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 you know? Well, let's listen to the bomb sound again, shall we? That is a satisfying sound. That right there, I feel like I just blew something up. I love it. That's good. That's beautiful. More like that. All right. Down we go. And give me some kind of like a sound, like a stair descending sound during this load screen. It adds a little bit more. I do like the musical shift, though. That's nice, the music that you got going for it. The air is thick with spores here. This is my country, I guess? I don't know that word. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like I'm knocking on a door when I break this. That's what it sounds like. I want a really hard wooden breaking sound, you know? Something like Minecraft, or not Minecraft, something like Half-Life, whenever you break one of those crates with your ungodly powerful crowbar of justice. That's a real breaking sound right there. Not a lot of counterplay to these fireballs. They just seem like really slow homing objects. They're not really frightening, I guess you'd say. They feel slow, you know? Though I don't know how frightening you can really make them, because with the current movement system, they kind of have to be slow, you know? You're not really a quick-moving character. Looks like there's a little bug where he seizes up if you try to mine diagonally, so something to keep in mind. Don't try to mine diagonally. It just can't be done. It cannot be done! What do you think this is? 3 dimensions? No, sir. We live on a 2-dimensional plane. Move, move, move. Okay. That's actually a good idea. What if there was like an attack charge up? What if you could charge up your ring's attack and then fire it off and make it feel much more powerful and actually do more damage? There's more impact behind it that way. If there was like a charge up to your ring. Like instead of by holding it down, if I just kept firing it repeatedly, I could charge it up and really big ice ball. Big chunk of ice that deals a lot of damage. That would feel satisfying. Yeah, right now the rings, they just feel flat, you know? They just feel like they're really standard in what they do. They don't do anything particularly well, but they do what they need to do, I suppose. You can live off them, but you're not exactly living well. But yeah, if enemies charge up their attacks and fire those at you, like if you saw that it was coming, and then you actively moved out of the way ahead of time, that'd be good. So you can actually see, like... Because maybe they start, you know, glowing a color and then pew, and then it's like straight at you relatively quickly, and if you were moving, you'll have dodged it. That'd seem like a better enemy type, something more engaging, more think on your feet. Because, again, this is a roguelike, and I'm not really feeling the difficulty, you know? It all feels really standard. Best word for it. It's not a super difficult game. And roguelikes, anybody going into a roguelike, they expect some level of punishment, you know? I mean, you're giving me instant death. I want to make sure that my life's actually, you know, got a low chance of survival. So what am I finding here? Is this obsidian or something? No, whatever it is, I got a lot of it. I wouldn't mind finding a ring forger right about now. Yeah, but I would love it if randomly in some rooms you might find some corpses or something, and then you break open the corpse bones and you find a map, and that map shows you, it lights up a room on the map here that you can just make your way to, because now you know where it is. That'd be really cool. I think that's actually a really cool approach to it. Follow in the footsteps of your failed companions. Oh, hello. Fortunately, the maps aren't so big that there's no way you're going to find it. Eventually, you will find it. Provided, of course, there's a means to get to it, but I assume the game is programmed where it won't make the map unless you can actually reach it. Now, something like this right here, you can immediately tell you're not going to be able to get into it, but you have the text going on the top every time you walk over it. That gets really redundant. I like it a lot more when there's something more easily conveyed. You don't really need text to convey something like this. What if instead, when you're on top of this right here, what if instead there was like a little speech bubble above the guy's head that just showed a key? And then you instinctually know you don't need to read anything, and it's universal across all languages that won't open up until you have the key. And then once you get the key, you can come over here, it opens up, and then instead of telling me to press C to descend, you can just have it in a little bubble over my head. Press C. I think that a bubble approach would be a much nicer way to... you don't need so much text in this game is what I'm getting to, or getting at. I feel like there's a lot of explaining through text, and that's not necessarily the quickest way or the best way to convey something. Sometimes it's better to convey something through images. And that'll help you through localization, too, because then you don't have to worry about localizing any of this. It'll all be completely understandable through all languages. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the counterplay here, because there isn't really a lot of counterplay. It's only runaway counterplay. I like that. I'm going to coin that term, runaway counterplay. There's not a lot you can do to counter it, except for just run away. And that's not necessarily a fun way to play, because that implies waiting. Anytime you're waiting in a video game, you're not really having fun, you're just waiting so you can have fun later. And no one really has ever said, boy, I wish this game just had me waiting more, you know? I feel like it was great, except for the part where I was constantly having action-packed adventures, you know? I mean, what a waste of time that is. And again, we just come to this point where I'm constantly mining forward, and there's no real juiciness to it even. It's just a constant action of me holding down the left or right mouse button, left or right key, and just waiting. There's a lot of waiting in this game, and I feel like it's something that can be avoided. Because I feel like it holds back this game. This game's definitely got potential with what it's got so far, with the idea of the ring crafting and the idea of the exploration, the rather large open-ended exploration aspect of it. But at the same time, you got to make sure there's some level of influence on where you're going. Now, I do notice that he tends to get locked onto things really easily that he can mine, even some things that he can't mine, like this rock. He'll lock onto that and start mining instead of walking around it sometimes. If you can't break something with the pickaxe, don't bother locking onto it. You can still mine it if you get too close and you keep on moving towards it, but if you actually can't break it in your current state, don't have the computer automatically have you lock onto it, because that's just going to throw you off in a lot of instances. Like right here, I can't break any of these rocks, but I'm going to keep on accidentally locking onto them just by walking around. Just let me kind of slide around them, you know? Make the movement a little smoother that way. Make the combat a little easier, too, when you're in those really tight quarters. Well, I got the key, so I can go ahead and head towards the next level. The bombs so far have been proving relatively worthless, but at least as far as I am right now. Mainly because I don't need to use them. Again, they imply waiting. I'm going to have to put it down, walk back, wait for it to blow up, and then when it blows up, here I am. But in the meantime, all it really got me was a little bit further ahead. It didn't really increase the speed of my mining. It would have to be a much bigger explosion to have actually benefited me, I would say, because in the time that it took me to put it down, walk away, and then walk back, I could have just mined that on my own. And I don't know if that's a problem with the mining speed being too quick or the bomb just not doing enough. I would say it's probably the bomb not doing enough because, as we've already discussed, we don't want to decrease the mining speed. We already know the mining speed introduces a lot of waiting into the game. Ooh, so Ring of the Warrior, you say. What does that do? Plus 2% critical hit chance passive. Alright. Cool beans. Alright, so we did not find a crafting station down here. Let's just go ahead and exit out of here. Get to the next level. Hopefully we'll find a crafting station early on. It'd be cool if some levels had crafting stages right at the beginning. Not saying that they don't. I really don't know. Oh, hello. This is new and exciting. Oh. Mothra! We meet again! Okay. I'm no man. Ain't there no... And these are no your caves. My clan claimed them long afore ye beasties moved in. Now get good.
Ha 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 ha. You abuse me, you little half-man. But my babies grow hungry. Perhaps you can be their first meal. Rats. If it's swagger wanting, it's swagger get.
So is he just gonna fly towards me this whole time? I feel like that's all he's gonna do. Not necessarily an engaging boss fight. If he's just going to walk towards me, I'm just going to keep doing this. Oh, is he doing something? Yeah, he's doing something. Oh, he's eating? What is he doing? Oh, he's laying eggs. Okay, alright, that's definitely a boss tactic. But that should be your opener right there. Your opener should be him laying the eggs. That is absolutely a much better strategy than just running towards me headlong at the beginning. But you also have to give him a solid vulnerable state, you know? I'd say the vulnerable state is probably when he's laying the eggs, but then once he lays the eggs, it takes a while to break those eggs. You gotta catch up to him, then you gotta destroy the egg, and then you gotta move on. Sorry, her, I should say, rather. Actually, then again, the eggs look like they take one hit to break, so that's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. But this isn't really a vulnerable state. This is just a state of stupidity that she's in right now, where she's just blindly charging into me. Like, somehow that's going to work in a twin-stick shooter game. Come on, we all know what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep doing this all day. But at the same time, you don't want to increase her speed so she can actually catch up to me, because that would just be annoying, you know? That would just be, well, how do I avoid that? The thing is, there'd be no counterplay once again. So I think it'd be better if she needs more attacks than just laying eggs, I think. I think a good attack, maybe something like firing something at you, perhaps firing spores, or... Oh, she's all pissy now. Perhaps firing eggs, even. The eggs of her young. Why not, right? But I guess you also have to account for the fact that you don't know what weapons we're going to be coming into doing this. But again, so far I think all the weapons seem to do the same thing, so, you know. Yeah, overall, it's not a super engaging boss fight. I would definitely re-examine this boss fight and consider finding more ways to add vulnerability to the enemy and finding more ways to attack. See, now she's charging straight forward towards her eggs and hitting me in the process. And that's really just like, well, how do I avoid that? My speed's not nearly high enough to move away from it. I worry that it just won't be enough, you know? Plus, I can't catch up to her when it's not really a vulnerable state if she just lays and then moves on immediately. She needs to spend a little bit of time laying those eggs so I can get to her and then attack her. Because right now, I'm really just getting overrun. And if I don't take care of these now, then, you know, there'll be a problem later. But she doesn't really leave herself vulnerable all that often. So she's really more of an enemy by proxy, in the sense she's just making a shit ton of enemies and running away. Like, I could easily get overrun, that's for sure. The question is, how many people is she laid with if she has this many eggs in her? And again, that's probably a question I don't really want an answer to. Just one of those questions that you ask. You don't really want to know. There we go. Alright. Tons of stuff. Ring of Blizzard. Wait, don't I already have that? Oh, that's not a Ring of Blizzard at all. Now this is new and exciting. Why didn't I get this before? What's this ring? The Ring of Thunder! What else do we have? Ring of Priest. 1 second invisibility. Huh. And Ring of Blizzard. Okay. So, I didn't drink any of my potions. Let's try drinking some now. This is the Iron Brew. Oh, hello. Well, there's my speed increase I was talking about before. And what else we got? This is... only one potion at a time, I suppose. Or not. Maybe I just won't drink it. What's this do? Oh, restores MP, restores HP. Okay, so pretty standard. That Iron Brew was kind of cool. I like that sound effect that went with it. That was juicy. That felt like, yeah, badass. Alright, where does one go from here? Is this the end of the demo? Map? Nope, no map. Oh, here we go. Ah, now we're in the mines. Yeah, that was a pretty cool death animation. It felt juicy, especially... Well, the sound felt a little unfitting, though. It was kind of a splat sound, but she didn't really splat as much as she kind of just died slowly. See, this feels a lot different from the fireball. This is nice. So this is actually exactly what I was hoping a Ring of Lightning would be. It feels juicy, it's quick, it flashes the whole screen, it feels generally really badass. It locks right on. Right here, this is juiciness. This feels good, this feels right. So now we're actually encountering rooms. Like legitimate rooms. Interesting concept. So single entry points, I suppose. Like, yeah, exactly, single entry points. You'll need to actually find the door. Or, you know, bomb it. So now bombs have a use. And now we have mages who can apparently disappear. Not a great sign. The only weird thing about the Ring of Lightning is the fact that I can't really aim it. I give it a general idea of what direction I want it to go in, and then it aims. So now we're starting to see cool enemies. Much cooler than the previous level. Yeah, I think the previous level just needs more interesting enemies. That'd be a big help. Oh, wow. See, like right there, the whole time I was pressing right. But you see how sometimes it's going up and down, and it's not really aiming where I want it to. I mean, I maybe if it arced, maybe that would help. From enemy to enemy, it would just arc. Well, I'm pressing up right now. That entire time, I was pressing up, and it keeps shooting down. What? What? Alright, let's switch back. There we go. Better if I can aim. It's useful for when people are really close to you, but it seems like the lightning doesn't really differentiate. It's like either you're something that can be hit by lightning or you're not. It doesn't care. Oh, did I already find the... Oh, okay. I guess I found the key and I didn't even notice. Sure, let's go down to the next level. I do like that in between levels you are giving me hints, but I do think that some of these hints need a little longer time to be read. That could just be that's just a point of polish, really. That's not a big deal. In general, it's a cool idea. In fact, that's something I hope a lot of people will adopt is interesting loading screens, you know? Especially if they're going to be long. But in general, I would counter that and say short loading screens would be nice too. Alright, let's check out this level of the mines. Creeping darkness is all around you. Oh, there we go. Finally, he does something cool. Last time he just kind of stood there and took it. It looks like if he gets hit, he just completely stops what he's doing, which is actually a good counterplay mechanic. I like that. But I can't really aim this lightning properly. Come on. I don't know why I'm continuing to try. It worked great last time, so I figured maybe this time, but I guess they're not just attracted to magic assholes like I hoped. I am frozen! Right here. Now we're starting to feel an amped up difficulty. See, it should have been kind of this hard from the beginning, in my opinion. Wow. Now, I will say that his grunting sound sounds a lot like my... Like, it sounds like I'm getting hurt, because it doesn't sound in the distance. It sounds like it's right on me, and that's a little confusing in some cases. It feels like, oh, I must be hurting myself. I actually genuinely thought that the first one I was fighting. I thought, oh, am I hurting myself when I hit him? Maybe I should stop hitting myself. Ow, ow, ow. Am I gonna die? Is this... No, actually, I have a healing potion. There we go. Actually, I have a couple of healing potions. There we go. I like that they are not instant heals. They do take a little bit of time, which is a nice little touch. In a roguelike, that means a lot. Ah, what have we here? Alright, can we actually craft something or enhance something this time? Let's look at enhancing first. Maybe we can enhance this... Yeah, we could probably enhance this. Ring of Snowflake. Or the Ring of Thunder. That's interesting. This ring already has the spell. Enhancing it will add 100 maximum mana instead. So it looks like I'm just putting one spell on top of the other. So, do I have an emerald? I do have an emerald, and I have 50 copper. Let's put Viper on top of it. See what that does. Viper added to Ring of Thunder. Let's try it. Oh, so it's actually just doing both spells. I was kind of hoping it would add a layer on top of it. Like, if it was hit by the lightning, then it would also add poison, you know? I think that'd be a lot cooler than just casting both spells if it actually added a layer of complexity to what the spell does, you know? That'd be way cooler. I could have a ring of arcing electrical poison. How badass does that just inherently sound? Pretty badass. Also, it looked like he was stunned, but he's still teleporting everywhere. Okay, another little pet peeve I have. When enemies always hurt you just by touching you, especially if they're teleporting enemies. I mean, they're not really in an attack state. He was just kind of teleporting in, so why did he hurt? You know? If he was attacking, that'd make perfect sense, but he wasn't really in an attack state. He was in a teleporting state. Like, yeah, right there. And again, I thought I was hurting myself. I also noticed this game has bloody eye syndrome, as I like to call it, which is you get hit and suddenly your screen is full of blood. Bloody eye! Please, children, or parents, talk to your children about bloody eye syndrome. BES is nothing to joke about. Even though it partially spells best, it is not the best. It is the worst. There we go. That's what I wanted. Can I combine rings? Good question, but no, it doesn't appear that way. It looks like it's more you're just adding the effect onto a ring. Well, let's go ahead and look back at the crafting station, shall we? Because this is actually going to be a mainstay of the game. So what if I crafted a new ring here? What are my options? Fireball, snowflake, health, magic, speed, attack. Right, so it's all stuff we saw before. But of course, I can only make very specific things right now because I only have enough materials for very specific things. I don't even know what the button to get out of this is. Oh, C. The button to get out of it safely is C, without crashing everything. Let's enhance another ring, shall we? Let's look at my snowflake ring, and let's add some fire to that, huh? Nope, we can't. We need a ruby. Snowflake times 2. Our only real choice is to put another viper on it, so let's do that. So yeah, it's just both spells going at the same time. It'd be way, way cooler if it was like a poison blizzard, you know? Maybe it generates a cloud of poison because, you know, poison cloud, you know, fog, snow. It's kind of all inherent of one another. Ow. I think he's dying. Yeah, something about that sound just doesn't... I think it's really just the loudness of the sound because it sounds like it's on top of me that he's going, "Urgh! Urgh!" So I feel like I'm the one who's dying. And that might just be a question of directional sound, which might be implemented in the future. Screw it, time for my iron brew! Laughter! Laughter! All the world's a stage and we are merely players! Laughter. Admittedly, I don't even hate the laughter sound. It's actually kind of menacing, even though I'm hearing it 3 times on top of each other right now. And I'm sure I'm going to die here. Are they just spawning all in here for some reason? Is this just the place to be because I'm here? I feel really loved. There I go. I died. Press escape to restart. Well, we are going to call it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greed. A very interesting roguelite with a big key on exploration. I gotta say, with the second part, I felt like there was a lot more direction because the rooms were closer together and they were generally attached, you know? Much like a standard roguelite. Or roguelike for that matter. It felt much more all together and I thought that was nice. So I would say try to make your first level like that because the second level overall felt a lot more interesting. It felt a lot more intense. But it took a while to get there. You're not gonna want to make your audience wait for the fun parts. You want to try to get there as soon as possible. So maybe consider having the caves be more set up like this area is. You know, more stuff in there and all that. But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greed, still in its alpha stage. Thank you very much for putting this forward for me to check out.